Namo Adita Phat, good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. Our Dharma reading today is by Ajahn Yatiko, called A Positive Encounter with Death. This is from Beginning Our Day by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery. There are many aspects of life that we bring to mind, consciously and repetitively, as part of our training. One focus of our contemplation is on the nature of mortality, the fact that we're all going to die. I recently had quite a positive experience in this regard. Last night there was a very strong and sharp pain in my chest that lasted several hours. It was running down my arm and the side of my neck and seemed very similar to a heart attack. But I was quite clear that it wasn't a heart attack because the pain felt slightly off to the right rather than to the left where the heart is. During this experience, I found that I could easily pretend and convince myself for a moment that this was a real heart attack. Physically, it was very painful and difficult to breathe or walk, and I had to sit down for several hours. Interestingly, the earlier part of the day had been quite challenging, so that in comparison with that, it actually felt good to suddenly be face to face with death. Everything else fell away completely. All the concerns of the day, in a flash, disappeared from my radar. Two experiences came up quite naturally from this episode. One was a recollection that my life as a monk has been pretty good. Certainly there have been ups and downs, successes and failures, morally and otherwise, but on the whole, I felt ready to die. I thought, that's okay. The other experience was having mindfulness throughout the entire episode. I felt that I had stepped outside the body and was observing the situation from above, contemplating what was happening. I was able to see that there was this human body and this process of attachment and reflection. It was a bit surprising. I was looking at the whole situation from this perspective of not self, and was mindful of that as well. It was comforting for me to know that it was possible to have this response to the perception of death. Everything that seemed so heavy and weighed me down throughout the day suddenly disappeared like fog on a sunny day. It just vanished. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.